Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Warrior 3. In the last part we started off the game and did some stuff around the main starting area of Aliahan. And now we're back in this town I forgot the name of, Reeve. Because now that we have the Thieves' Key, we'd actually enter this door here in the northeastern part of town and talk to this guy. I've heard the story already. Go ahead and break the seal of this magic ball. It didn't show us getting it, but he did give us the magic ball, which as many people around this town and the previous one mentioned, we need to break open a barrier. So now we're actually going to head over in that general direction. But first, I want to actually head over to the store and buy a chain sickle. Now, I would give that to Labryinth, but he's going to get a better weapon soon anyway. So I'm actually going to give that to Dart because he could use the overall attack power-up, because if I recall, he has a club. Yeah, a club. Obviously, if you weren't in, I sold some stuff off screen, namely the hero's club and such, just so I can get some extra cash. And now I want to head east towards the thing. Hills, as in other Dragon Quest games, are pretty much the highest encounter rate areas you can find. Hence why you hear the music restarting every now and then. And we get thrown into our next new battle against magicians. 23 HP, 18 XP, 12 gold, can drop a fairy water, which would heal some status ailment. The only real big thing about them is that they can cast Blaze, which is about a 10 damage fire attack. The hero has it, I think, at this point. Nothing too bad, but yeah. And obviously, as I mentioned in the last part, if you see certain enemies take different amounts of damage, that's because every enemy has a range of HP from its max down to 75% of it. In a similar fashion, from the Japanese version, the American, compared to the Japanese version rather, the American version is actually slightly easier because they raise the experience points in gold to get from enemies by 25%. And, although experience points are split between party members. Either way, you don't have to enter this place, I'm just gonna show it off because first off, I love this somber track and I want to talk to this guy. Ho, young man, do ye have the magic ball? You must go to the cave enticement and you'll find it near a spring. That's out of the question. Go back to Reeve. Railroading of a sort, I suppose. Either way, we want to head up here towards this pond. And we get very eerie music, which means this is likely our next dungeon. Walk into the pit, and suddenly Labryinth. No, not the movie, sadly. I haven't watched that movie in years. This is the cave enticement, but the stairway is sealed off by a stone wall. Well, thankfully, we happen to have the magic ball. Which means we can, you know, break it down. And now, welcome to the true part of this area, which we want to head this direction first, but then we're going to get thrown into a battle against a spiked hare, which have 20 HP, drop 19 XP and 10 gold, can drop a leather helmet, and can cast sleep, which is fairly a self-explanatory spell. That was grammar, but yeah. They're pretty much just upgraded to the horned rabbits we've encountered last part. Nothing too bad at all. By the way, I want to mention I absolutely love this game's battle theme. It's pretty complex for an NES melody back in '87. Well, Famicom Disk System melody, technically. Because we didn't get this game until, I think, 90? 91, maybe? I forget. The Dragon Quest games had a really weird release schedule, technically. We want to head in this direction. If you fall into the pit, you do actually fall down to a floor below, which can be a pain in the ass because you have to find your way around it. So just follow the path I'm taking. Now we want to head to the northwest and grab this treasure chest, which contains a simple little antidote herb. Now, one thing I want to go over is that last part at the end of it, I didn't mention it, but we got something known as an agility seed. If you ever get a seed, sell it. First off, though, next new enemy is a demon anteater, which have 17 HP, drop 16 XP and 9 gold. It can drop a medical herb. And that's about it for them normally. However, they are the first enemy you'll encounter with something known as a concentrated attack pattern, meaning that at the start of the battle, they choose one person to target, and they will focus on that person until they are down. So if you're fighting a creature, and it seems like they seem to be targeting only one person, at least if it's that variety of enemy, that's likely because they have a concentrated attack pattern. Best strategy to take out anything with that, parry the first turn, and then attack the second once you figured out who they're fighting. Anyway, as I was saying, seeds are Worthless. Just sell them as soon as you get them, really. What they're supposed to do is raise your stats, which, you know, cool, right? But here's the thing. It raises them by a semi-random amount, and even then, it'll only go along with the certain baseline stats that you have to have by certain levels. And in the case of the, I forget what they're called, I think they're like the magic seeds and vitality seeds, the ones that raise your MP and HP, essentially. Those can be used detrimental, even, because if you use them, you can potentially miss out on HP or MP upon your next level up, so don't use any seeds! They can be dangerous. Very dangerous, actually. Either way, next new enemy is a caterpillar, which have 40 HP, give 42 XP, drop 15 gold, and can drop medical herbs, and that's about it. Pretty vanilla enemies, actually. I really do like this track, though. My biggest problem with it, though, is that, like all other Dragon Quest soundtracks, it's pretty repetitive. We want to head over here and get something pretty good. This is a magic knife. I won't be doing it here, but off-screen I'm going to be giving that to Labryinth, because that's actually a pretty decent upgrade. It does... No, it has an attack stat of 14, so that's really good at this point. Hence why I didn't give him the chain sickle, because that thing is actually powerful than the chain sickle, even. Either way, we want to head in this general direction, because we find the staircase, which takes us down to the final floor. Now, there's a path branch here, but I just recommend you go on the left path. I don't even think you can do anything in the other two paths yet. Use the Thieves' Key to get through here, and then just continue walking. And with that, we're going to be teleported to the first major part of the overworld. But first, you have to go through a cave. With this track, I absolutely love. Seriously, I don't know what it is about this song of all things. It's a very somber melody, but it's catchy all the same. And with that, now we're back in the overworld. Now. Huh. This place looks oddly familiar. Let's enter this town. This is the city of Romaly. That sounds kind of like Rome, doesn't it? It's because it's based off of it. Aside from Aliahan, a lot of the overworld is actually based off the real world. Some of the cities are even based off of them. Some of them aren't, like the next two aren't really as far as I'm aware, but Romaly, it's Rome. There's even a Colosseum here you can check out if you want to. I welcome you. We've heard tell of the brave hero Ortega. Labryinth needs... Oh, he's still doing his usual thing. Yeah, like in all other Dragon Quest games, kings are your save point and how you check how many experience points you have left until the next level up. Well, what about it? Are you to continue on your journey? Yes. Well, now I have something to ask of you. Someone named Kandar has stolen the golden crown from the castle. If you fetch me that, I will acknowledge you as a true hero at the world. This is the first side quest. I think even the first in the series, because I don't recall 2 having any. I know 1 didn't really have any. So we want to actually head over to that. I forget... Oh, that's right, we're heading up here to talk to this guy about it. We want to head up here into the northwestern tower, because... if we get up there... there's a guy in a jail cell, who took forever to get over to me. Kandar is supposed to be living in the Tower of Champagne and gathering accomplices. Wonder if he's still there. Tower of Champagne, by the way, is pretty much a censorship of champagne, like the alcohol. Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but I guess alcohol can't be mentioned, but we can kill people as we saw in the beginning of Dragon Quest 2. By the way, I will be flipping and flopping between Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior. I apologize for that, but it's just something I do. And with that, we're somewhat down in town. I actually want to do some level grinding, get everyone up to level 12. But that's not so much for the experience points I'm doing this. It's for the gold, because I want to have a shitload for something, but I also want to do some shopping. Here in Romaly, I want to get the chainmail for Labryinth, start in Lowell. And the next town, I want to get an Iron Claw and fighting suit for Tifa, and a total of 2 full moon herbs, and get up to a total of 4 antidote herbs and 8 medical herbs. You might be wondering what full moon herbs do, but I'll get into that when we eventually encounter the status ailment, because there's a new one known as numbness in this game, which is essentially paralysis that lasts after battle. I guess I pretty much just explained it. It heals that. Now, I'm kind of overdoing the level grinding again, like I did back in... No, actually, no, Dragon Quest 2 is pretty justified. But if you're wondering why I'm doing that, it's just because I want to be absolutely safe. You should be good around level 10, honestly. Because while Dragon Quest 3, while it's more balanced, it still needs some grinding, as it should, really. Either way, next new enemy is a Poison Toad, 25 HP, 27 experience points, 11 gold, can drop an antidote herb, and I think they can poison you. I don't really know. They never really try to. Pretty easy enemies, though. And next new enemy already is a Pup. 50 HP, 39 XP, 18 gold, can drop an Acorn of Life, which I believe revives you, I forget. Just sell them, they're not too useful. And they can cast Slow, which will lower one of your party members' agility. They're pretty resilient, though. Watch out for them. Especially if you're around level I was before doing that grinding, because these guys, in fact, a lot of the enemies in this area in general can really kick you and when you're down, because they're pretty powerful, all things considered. And yeah, we do actually have to head north along these mountains, even though it's a lot of encounters. That's the next town right there. And next new enemy is an Army Crab, 28 HP, 47 experience points, 15 gold, can drop Wayfarer's Clothes, which is a very weak equipment. And that's about it, pretty vanilla. They can be pretty damaging though, so watch out for them all the same. But yeah. I really like the designs, though. In fact, I gotta say, I really do like Dragon Quest's enemy designs in general. They're more realistic than Final Fantasy's, yes, but Akira Toriyama's artwork still manages to make them look menacing while silly at the same time. Also, if it's not entirely obvious, I changed my party setup. No, actually, I haven't done that yet. I'm about to do that, aren't I? I forget. Either way, momentarily, I'm going to be changing my party setup to the fighters in front, then it's Legolas, then Dart, then Lowell. Because at this level, especially at this level, really, the fighter is really starting to take off in HP and power, so it's good to have her in the higher positions. And plus, fighters, as I forgot to mention, actually have a higher critical rate. Now, there's something you can do here in this town. If you come here at night, which we've yet to see, I believe, in general, you can enter the back of the shop there where you can see those two treasure chests. One of them has a club, but one of them has something known as a poison needle, which is a really good weapon or item. I forget if it's a battle item or a weapon for a wizard. It'll either do 1 damage or instant kill an enemy. Pretty good if you have a wizard. By the way, I want to head up north before progressing towards the Tower of Champagne, because there's this town here. This is the town of Noanials. Though it's currently a sleeping village. There's been a curse placed over it, as we'll find out momentarily. I'm only getting this on the map so I can have it for a return spell, essentially, because return's a spell that the hero will be learning fairly soon, which will allow you to return to any towns you've been into. The Wing of the Wyvern does the same thing. And apparently the curse was placed by elves in the west, so that's going to be a destination eventually. That's technically another side quest, I believe. I don't think you have to do that. Either way, let's head back to Kanav, which is the name of that town. I forget if I mentioned that already. And head west towards the Tower of Champagne. And yes, you might have noticed already by this point in the parts, there are times where the brightness of that area will completely change. That's because it's transitioning through the day-night cycle. Either way, here's where I change the party order up. And we're immediately thrown into our first new battle against Gas Clouds. 25 HP, 47 experience points, 17 gold, can drop a Vitality Seed, so sell that if you get one, because they're detrimental. And they can cast Blaze, which, as I mentioned during the Magician fight, does around 10 fire damage. Nothing too bad. And now we got Humanabats, which have 28 HP, 39 experience points, 16 gold, can drop a magic knife. And that's about it. They can cast Ice Bolt, which, I forget what that does. Hold on a sec. It does around 30 points of damage. Don't let them do that. Fun fact about these guys, in, I think, the Super Nintendo version, which there is of this game, it was Japan only, sadly, they're called Batman. Yeah. If you go up there to talk to that guy, he just says, "Welcome to the Tower of Champagne. I'm a useless NPC. Help me, I'm stuck saying the same things forever." Nothing too interesting, honestly. And we're thrown into our next battle against a killer bee. Well, not just a killer bee, but killer bees are the main thing you see. Which have 25 HP, drop 35 experience points and 16 gold, can drop a medical herb, and they can cause numbness, which is that semi-permanent paralysis I talked about earlier. Paralysis generally only lasts in battle. Numbness lasts out of battle and in over a certain period of time. I'm not sure what that exact period is, though. Either way, you don't want to get numbed, so kill them quickly. Nothing too bad, though. And the entire reason I went throughout this little roundabout route was so I can get this treasure chest containing a Wing of the Wyvern, which is useful if you don't have return and if you don't want to use MP on return, but it's not terribly good. They're better than they were in previous games, though, because you can choose the town now. And now I want to head upstairs. I do kind of like the effect of the lighting changing like that in a sense, but it is also somewhat distracting. It also just kind of wastes time in the long run, really. For a dungeon, though, this is pretty simplistic. There's not many alternate paths, not many wrong ways to go. You can still fall off the edge, though, so don't do that. Thankfully, it doesn't cause fall damage, though. Because that would just be jerkish. You don't need fall damage in an RPG, Xenoblade! Though at least in Xenoblade it makes some amount of sense, because that game's trying to be quote-unquote realistic, I think. Don't go back downstairs. That was me not paying attention to the screen when I was doing that. That was me looking at my notes. And I think there's maybe something in that room, I forget. It's just not worth going to, though. And next new encounter is a Demon Toadstool, which have 24 HP, can drop 52 XP and 22 gold, can drop a fairy water. And that's about it. They're nothing special besides that. Fairy water, by the way, might as well look that up. Prevents weaker enemies from attacking you on the world map. Actually, that's kind of useful early on. So if you get one of those, either use it or sell it. As it should be with almost all items, really, now that I think about it. I should mention right now, in between parts, I'm going to do more level grinding up to level 15, which honestly was really overkill. Because that was in the, I think for everyone to get to level 15, they had to be over 15,000 experience. Which is kind of bad. I'm going to try and tone it down from here on out, really, I swear. But the room I actually did the level grinding in is actually this room here. Either way, I recommend before you head up this next staircase that you heal, because we're coming up on the boss. And healing before bosses is a good thing. Well, get a look at those weirdos. Yep, we better go tell the boss. My voice transitioned in the middle of that, I apologize. Let's go get them. Alright, you little shits, come here. You done well to get this far, I gotta hand it to you. Just one thing, ain't no one can catch us. See ya, suckers. Ha! That didn't really do much to stop me, you know. You just dropped me down a floor. And I can come right back and get you. And they're gone. Let's fall down this hole. There they are. Stubborn fools, I'll show you who's boss with the first actual boss against Kandar and 3 Kandar henchmen. Kandar henchmen, because they'll be sticking around longer, have 60 HP, 107 experience points, and can drop a cypress stick. And Kandar himself has 150 HP and drops 2,934 experience points and can drop a cypress stick. The main thing about them is that take out the henchmen first, because they're a lot more annoying because they're more attacks. I recommend you cast Sleep on Kandar, which I think I'll be doing during turn 2, and also casting Sap on him if you have it by this point. If you're at my levels, you should. Because Sap essentially lowers an enemy's defense, though I can get an exact description through the strategy wiki. Just weakens the defense. So, it's good to do that. Really though, once you know to put Kandar to sleep and take out the Kandar henchmen one-on-one, I recommend you do either take them out one at a time with everyone, or just have every one character focus on one. It's not a very hard boss. But hey, there's actual strategy you can use during it, which is a lot more than Dragon Quest 1 and 2 could say. Because Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are pretty bare bones. You're either using your most powerful spells or smacking them with the face with a blade. No boss music, though. I don't think that'll be introduced until maybe 4? Or was it 5 that had normal boss music? I forget. It's been a while since I played 4 or 5. I do need to do those eventually, though, because I really like the Dragon Quest series. I'm more of a Final Fantasy guy, as I've mentioned, but I like the series all the same. Kandar, though, once you get him down by himself, he's really easy, because if everyone just focuses, he dies pretty quickly. And there's an example of experience being split between everyone, because 2,934 is not equal 814. And as I mentioned before, level ups are random, however they do go along certain baseline stats for every level. Will you let me go if I give you the golden crown? Will ya? Please? Don't talk like that, forgive me, I beg you, please, no! Don't talk like that, forgive me, I beg you, please. But thou must. Thanks, I'll never forget this, goodbye! And the treasure chest that he gave us contains a really good piece of equipment. The golden crown that the guy at Romaly wanted us to give him. Don't give it to him because you lose it. You will become king of Romaly for a short time though, so I suppose that's somewhat worth it. And now we're back in Elyon because I'm heading over to the Elven Woods that I want to do. But before I end this off, I do want to explain what the golden crown does. It is a really good piece of headgear. In fact, it's the best in the game for the wizard, so if you have a wizard, put it on him. But I put it on Likeliest off screen. So now you know, well, the equipment's changed up a bit. And becoming a king in Romaly is not worth it because you lose the crown itself. It does trigger some funny dialogue, though, because you have to find the old king in the Colosseum and give him back his throne. It's interesting, though. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. In between parts, I'll be grinding up to level 15, and next part, we'll see what's going on in the Elven Woods. See you guys then.